I am going to learn the subject waste to energy, where I know I get the information about how waste is managed, recycle, reuse, and refuse. How we can make our environmental clean, green, and more productive, more sustainable for human beings to live life. Where waste can be converted in many forms. Like we also recycle the plastic to make new material, to another things. And for example, we have used as a burning instead of coal. We use waste to burning as a burning fuel, so we can generate the energy. Let's start it. Waste. What is waste? First question is arise in our mind. Waste is unwanted and unusable material. Waste is any substance, anything, which can be discarded from primary use or it's worthless, defect or no use. Example including municipal solid waste, household rubbish, hazardous waste, wastewater, including sewage and surface runoff or radioactive waste. Everything is a waste if it's not our end use or we discard it from away because of it's a waste. Business waste, trade, commercial, or industrial waste is any material disposed by an organization, whether of profit or not, and whether public or private. Organizational waste is classed as controlled waste. The example of business waste material including used package, discard food, discard electrical equipment, construction, construction demolition waste. Waste are of two types: biodegradable waste and non-biodegradable waste. Biodegradable waste are the waste that can be broken down into simple, non-poisonous substance by the action of microorganisms in nature. Whereas non-biodegradable waste, this cannot be broken down into simple non-poisonous substance by the action of microorganisms in nature. Whereas they can be recycled naturally as well as by the man, and their product do not pollute the environment. Where non-biodegradable, they cannot be recycled naturally as well as by man, and their product can cause environmental pollution. Waste are made up of natural ingredients. Waste are made up of synthetic materials. They can produce useful product after biodegradation. They remain unchanged chemically as they are non-biodegradable. They do not disturb the ecological balance in the nature. Most of the time, they disturb the ecological balance in the nature. They persist for a small time interval in the environment. They persist for long time in one interval in the environment. Example: paper, cow dung, water crumbles, etc. Plastic bags, synthetic fibers, can etc. Waste management. The over amount of waste in our environment leads no we need to a management. Waste management refer to the activities connected with the collection and the disposal of the waste. Waste management comprise of waste collection, transportation, segregation, waste recycling, waste disposal, and waste minimization and control. Waste collection, the our PWD, Public Work Department, collect the waste from road to road, from house to house. All these are transportations and goes to waste recycling plant, where the waste is segregated. Waste is now go for recycle. The biodegradable are going for the recycle. Waste management is a collection of transportation, processing, recycling, or disposal and monitoring of the waste material. The three are this is the collection, recycling, or disposal of monitoring material. Three are reuse, recycle, reduce. Three are principle reduce, but only what you need, because a better way to reduce waste is not by creating it. What we use, how the waste, how to make our environmental clean, by reduce the waste, by reducing the bag of polythene bag, plastic bags, etc. Instead of we can use another traditional method, using a jute bag, using a copper bottle instead of plastic bottle, etc. Because reduce can lead to reduce the waste management. Reuse, we can also reduce the waste by reusing the same material. If you have the acquired goods, try getting used once or obtaining substitutes. Using a plastic can be reused many times. Recycle. When discarded your waste, finds way to recycle it. It's instead of letting it go. For example, plastic bottles can be cut and make as a pen holder. Plastic bottles can be used as a pot, flower pot, etc. Waste source, classification, impacts, and human society produce some unwanted and discarded material, which are called waste. Waste are produced from the different activities such as household activities, agricultural activities, industrial activities, hospital, educational institute, mining, operation, and so on. These source generate different types of waste, and many of which are hazardous in nature. These cause spread of many diseases. For example, agricultural waste, the overusing of the urea and the agricultural waste cannot be hazardous, but it takes time to be disposed. Industrial waste causes the most amount of diseases and infection in the environment. Industries polluted gases are untreated gases are exhaust in the environment, which cause the severe health issues like lungs cancer, asthma, skin rashes, eye infection, etc. Hospital waste can also produce most amount of waste, because hospital waste consists of all hazardous waste. Like most of the injections are infected, gloves, rubber waste are many types of waste which need to be properly treated. Solid waste. Solid waste are the useless and unwanted substance discarded by human society. It's all what it's poop, the human poop. These included urban waste, including industrial waste and agricultural waste, biomedical waste and radioactive wastes. Human solid wastes are poop and many another factories, industries, agriculture, and also having the many types of solid waste. Waste generally from washing, flushing, and manufacturing process of industries are called liquid waste. This liquid waste directly goes in our river bodies and make our river polluted. Gaseous waste. The waste are released in the form of gas from automobile factories, burning of fossil fuel, etc. That includes of carbon monoxide, carbon oxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, ozone, methane, etc. These all gaseous waste are harm the environment, layers, ozone layer, troposphere, which is very need for our breathing. Also, it's also pollute our air, causes ions and etc. Source of waste. Waste produced from different sources are classified as from urban or municipal waste, industrial waste, commercial waste, agricultural waste. Waste resource and characteristics. Municipal waste. The waste collected from the residential house, markets, streets, and other places, mostly in the urban areas, and disposed by the municipal bodies, are called municipal solid waste. In general, the urban solid waste are called refuse. In the municipal solid waste are the mixture of paper, plastic, cloth, metals, glass, organic matter, etc. generated from household, commercial, established, and market. Industrial waste are released from chemical plants, paint industries, cement factories, power plants, metallurgical plant, mining operation, textile industries, food processing industries, petroleum industries, and thermal power plant. These industries produce different types of waste product. Industrial solid waste can be classified into two groups: hazardous and non-hazardous. The waste which is not harming the environment are called non-hazardous. For example, the food processing plants, cotton mills, paper mills, sugar mills, and textile industries are non-hazardous. Means they are not poisonous in nature. Hazardous waste are generated nearly by very metal, chemical, drugs, leather, pulp, electroplating, dyeing, rubber, or some of the important example. Liquid industrial waste that run into a stream from a factory can kill the aquatic fauna and also cause health problem for humans. Agricultural waste produce plants and animal waste. Excess use of fertilizer, pesticides, and other chemicals used in the agriculture. The waste formed from these causes land and water polluted. They also contaminate the soil. Among pesticides, chlorinate, hydrocarbons, DDT, di- BHC, Indrin, Darilin, Landin, Prathlin, Malatrin, and Androsulfin are important which are absorbed by the soil and contaminated crops grown in the soil. Other agricultural waste are produced from sugar factories, tobacco processes and units, slaughterhouse, livestock, poultry. Commercial waste. With the advancement of modern cities, industrials, and automobiles, huge amount of waste are generated daily. These included market, roads, building, hotel, commercial complexes, hostel, auto workshops, printing press, Hospitals, nursing homes, and medical institutes also release tremendous amount of waste, which are hazardous and are much toxic in nature. Disposal of municipal solid waste. One of the major environmental problems in the collection, management, and disposal of the MSW in the urban areas. Lack of the MSW management and disposal is leading to significant environmental problems. These including soil, air, water, and aesthetic pollution. Such environmental problems are associated with humans' health disorder due to the increase in greenhouse gases emissions. Globally, about 71 of MSW are disposal of in landfills. MSW contain mostly hazardous substances, including some batteries, paints, mercury content, waste, pharmaceutical vehicle maintenance product, and many other products. On the other hand, more than 53 of the landfill waste consist of hardboard paper, yard waste, paper and food that are biodegradable by the anaerobic bacteria. This makes the landfill as the primary method of disposal waste. The most amount of MSW waste can be disposed also if our government take the initiative. These 71% can be reduced to 50 or 40 by refusing or by reusing these types of material. For example, metal, plastic can be recycled in product like different and many another form. Technology for waste to energy. Waste to energy technology consists of any waste treatment processes that treats energy in the form of electricity, heat, or transports fuel from a waste source. There are a number of ways of generating energy from waste. This including combustion, gasification, pyrolysis, anaerobic digestion, and landfill gas recovery. Most common waste to energy method. There are different waste to energy system or technology. The most common type used in the United States is the mass burning system, where unprocessed MSW is burning in a large incinerator with a boiler and a generator for producing electricity. The process of generating electricity in a mass burn waste to energy plant has 7 stages. Waste is dumped from the garbage tank into a large pit. A giant claw on a crane grabs waste and dumps it in a combustion chamber. The waste fuel is burned, releasing heat. The heat turns water into steam in a boiler. High pressure steams turn a blade of a turbine generator to produce electricity. An air pollution an air pollution control system removes pollutant from the combustion gases before it is released through the smokestack. Ash is collected from the boiler in the air pollution control system. Waste to energy plants burn municipal solid waste, often called garbage or trash, to produce steam in a boiler that is used to generate electricity. MSW is a mixture of energy rich materials such as paper, plastic, yard waste, and product made from wood. From every 100 pounds of MSW, United States about 85 pounds can be burned as a fuel to generate electricity, which means 85% of these waste is burned. This is a simple method. First, the waste come by the truck in a collector or a field. Then the claw used to drop in a burning burning chamber. Then the old waste are go to the belt pulley. Then the heat is transferred to the boiler. Turns the water into the steam. Then the steam is goes to the turbine. Turbines run the generator. The electricity is produced, and the remaining amount of steam is back to the boiler in the form of the water, and the what amount the leftover ashes are removed away from this plant, and the gases, the burning gases are clean, and the flue gases, burning flue gases are clean and goes to the directly environment, release in the exhaust in the environment. This is the whole process where the waste is treated to energy in the form of energy. We can turn the waste into energy. Gasification process. Gasification is a unique process that transforms a carbon-based material such as MHW or biomass into other form of energy without actually burning it. Instead, gasification converts the solid and liquid waste material into a gas through a chemical reaction. Gasification of the waste. Thermal gasification of municipal solid is a chemical process that generates चार बना दो चार ज्यादा हो जाएंगे बता gasification. This point can then be combusted into the boiler product steam for power generation. The main product of gasification is a mixture of gases, producer gas, with the main component H2, CO, CO2, H2O, CH4, and the air nitrogen. Biomass gasification occurs in four stages. Drying. Water vapor is evaporated of these biomasses. Pyrolysis. The intense heat decomposes the dry biomass into organic gases, vapor, carbons, and tar in the absence of oxygen. Reduction. Water vapor interact with carbon, creating hydrogen, carbon monoxide, and methane. Combustion. Some of the carbons and organic chemical bonds with oxygen to produce heat, enabling the final stage of the gasification to occur. Utilization of the landfill space but also decrease from organic waste that would have decomposed in the landfill. Additionally, typically waste to waste energy plants that utilize traditional incineration method, transforming 1 ton of the municipal solid waste into roughly a 550 kilowatt hour of electricity. With gasification of the technology, 1 ton of energy will produce almost twice a kilowatt that are cleaner as well. Biomass energy work. How does biomass energy work? Biomass is a renewable organic material that comes from plants and animals. Biomass was the largest source of total annual US energy consumption until the mid 80s. Most electricity generated from biomass is produced by direct combustion. Biomass is burning in a boiler to produce high pressure steam. This steam flows over the series of turbine blades, causes things to rotate. The rotation of the turbine drives a generator producing electricity. This is how the gas plant work. The waste is in a floor, then it's segregated in metal, plastic, glasses, and MSW preparation. All these waste are after the classification of the waste go in a gasification chamber where the most amount of the waste are using the chemical are turned to gases. The gases burns in the in produce in respect to producing energies. Here the electrical energy is transferred and the over the remaining gases or unburned gases are sent back to the gasification chamber, and the solid waste or the whatsoever the waste is not in use are used as a or decomposed as a filling material in the construction material. Pyrolysis is one of the technology available to convert biomass to intermediate a liquid product that can be refined to drop in hydrocarbons, biofuels, oxygenated fuels, additive, and is a thermal decomposition of biomass occurring in the absence of the oxygen. Product of biomass processes including biochar, bio-oil, gases including methane, hydrogen, carbon monoxide, and carbon dioxide. Ronnie, get rid of. MSW, Municipal Solid Waste. Metal 4%, glass 5%, plastic 10%, paper waste 17%, and other 18%. Organic waste is 46%.